Welcome to Things You May or May Not Believe Abusers Have Said, aka the Can't Be Broken podcast, where we are shining light on the darkness that is domestic violence and abuse. I am your favorite confidence pusher, M Boogie, in this thing. And we got three simple goals: to educate anyone who has never been in an abusive ship, empower all of our survivors to stand up and share your story, and to encourage anyone who is still currently in an abusive ship. So please keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because we about to take off and it's going to be a bumpy ride. All right, y'all, we are here for another amazing episode. I am super excited to share this space and this time and this energy with this amazing, beautiful survivor of a sister of mine. I think she's awesome. She's gorgeous. She's powerful. She's strong. And she is going to share her story so that whoever is out there that needs to hear it is going to hear it. She's a beautiful, illuminating, captivating light, but the world knows her as Gina Marie in the building. Gina Marie. I mean,
Hey.
I absolutely love your name. I'll be saying it as much as I can. It's gonna be saying it. But how's your day been?
My day is good. It's good
Yeah.
to be on your show.
I'm excited. I'm excited about people being able to see you on the other side. And I'm excited about how your story is going to impact and possibly propel someone else's journey so that they're going to see themselves in you, and then they're going to see the hope that is you that is here. So that's my biggest excitement that I have for whatever this conversation is going to go to. But my first question for you, Miss Gina Marie, is when you were growing up, had you ever witnessed or had you experienced any form of abuse that you were aware of in the moment, or as you're an adult now, you're like, I don't think I should have done that.
Yeah, so I've come a long way. When I was a young girl, I was sexually abused as a child between the ages of 9 to 13 by a relative. And with that being said, that basically paved the way for a lot of residual dysfunction afterwards. And that's where I met um, my ex husband. And with that being said, he struggles with narcissism, and we divorced in 2019. And I had to completely reinvent myself, and it was absolutely awful. I had no other choice but to leave. He insisted that he lived at our current home, and the deal was go find help, find Jesus, and work on yourself. And he didn't want to do that. So I told him, I said, if you don't leave, I'm going to leave. And he didn't take me seriously that day. That day, we got into one last fight where he pulled my hair, and he, excuse me, he threw my dog in a crate down the stairs. And I'm a very spiritual person after all of this. So when he threw the dog down the stairs, that was a pivotal point where I literally heard the Lord say, leave him. And it wasn't, please leave him, in 15 minutes. It was like the voice of Poseidon from like under the sea.
Wow.
And I'm just like, God, Jesus, I love you. You really want me to do this today? And I did. And I told him, I said, I'm leaving you. And that's what I did. I went, and I didn't even have any shoes on my feet. I picked up my dog and my little girl, and I went by my mom and my dad's house. And I didn't even have to explain to my mom and my dad what happened. They were just like, okay, you're here. We're going to do this. And I've been a stay-at-home mom before that. And I was like just so overwhelmed because I put my education on hold. I put my whole life on hold, and I gave life to all of his accolades. So fast forward, and I'm doing so much better because I answered God. And when God says close a door, just don't go running to open it. Just leave it shut, because you know why? There's something so powerful on the other side. So fast forward, and I went back to school, and I'm in the process of finishing my radiology program. And with that being said, I actually retired this year because I had my baby from my nursing home. So I was a PRN there for 7 years, taking care of geriatrics, and I miss my peeps. But again, God opens another chapter, and like I said, I never thought I would make it, and I remarried too. I never thought I would remarry. I literally thought that I was going to be a single, lonely, miserable person. And then through the power of prayer, God said to me, if you want to do this, take my hand and walk with me on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I raised my little girl. I was a single mom for some time. And then I, excuse me, was in an apartment. I had to find, a place to live. I didn't even have a bed to sleep on. I had nothing. And luckily my mother and my father and my brother, we all lived together in a little city house. And they helped me, stand back on my feet. And then I worked 7 years in my nursing home, and I miss my geriatrics, but it's one of those things. Yeah. Yeah. And you know
Something's
what?
on the horizon.
He did. He told me, he said, "You're never going to find anyone like me." I said, "Yeah, that's the point. That
Come
is
on.
the exact point. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to be brave, and I don't need you." And you know what happened? I learned in therapy too that I gave him so many chances. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want people to understand, man or woman, your partner, don't give them any more of your time. They're so not deserving of that, and love doesn't hurt. And when I gave him a hall pass, I gave him access to hurt me again and
Yep.
again and again and again. Those days are done. So
Yes.
I remarried in 2024. I finally met my person,
Mm-hmm.
and he loves Jesus just like I. And when I was praying to move on, I said, "Jesus, I love you so much." I had my fists up in the air. I said,
Yeah.
"Don't just send me anyone. Send me a godly man. He needs to know you first before he comes running to me."
Come on now.
And my husband, I love my husband. My husband is my best friend, and we've been blessed with a rainbow baby girl. He was told he was never supposed to even have kids,
Wow.
and he was told by 3 different urologists, and here we are, celebrating
Come
um,
on.
Blessy Rosalie. So that's what I mean when God is so good, and God finds us when we're in the valley. And
Mm-hmm.
when he comes to you and he's like, "Hey, take my hand." Life is messy. Just take it and walk with it, and put your trust in him. And you know what? I don't even second guess anything anymore. After everything I've been through, I trust in the Lord, and he's opened so many wonderful doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. First of all, congratulations on going back to school
Yeah.
and on the sweet bundle of rainbow joy
Yes.
and on your man of God. Like I had a conversation with someone before and I said, like, we're all children of God because the Harper over here, he knew God. He had like his interpretation of the Bible, like he understand, like it was a lot, but he was very spiritually abusive as
Mhm.
well. And I was like, you know what? whenever God sends me the person God is going to send me, that person's going to be a man of God, not just a child of God, because those are, in
Mhm.
my brain, they're two different types of people.
Oh
Since we're
yeah,
all
definitely.
children, we're not mature spiritually enough to take care of the other gift that God has given us, whether it be our kid, whether it be our spouse, whether it be our career or what have you. And I was like, as much as he knew about God and always talked about relationship and all the things, God was not in him.
Mhm.
And that's a big deal. So,
It,
whoop,
it
whoop.
really is. Really, people have choices.
Mhm.
You have a choice to wake up in the day and be a spiritual light to others, or you have a choice to dance with the devil. Pick which one you want to do here. And
Yeah.
my ex did not want help, and I will say this again and again and again with individuals who are narcissistic. The likelihood of them seeking help for themselves is like me getting eaten by a great white shark in Lake Michigan. It's just one of those things where the likelihood is just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So save yourself. And if you are in imminent danger, please leave. Don't
Mhm.
make excuses for them. You have so much more to
So
give.
much.
So
So
much
much.
more to give. So much more and we have a choice. We could have the pain and the angst from all the abuse harden our heart where all we see is negativity,
Mhm.
or we could just leave it at the foot of the cross. And the other thing I learned too is unforgiveness hurts us more
Yep.
than the actual person. So somehow, not today, not tomorrow, but in your heart, forgive them and just say,
Mhm.
Jesus, I love you, just take them.
Yeah. This is
just just take them. They're not mine anymore, and I did. I sat in church one day, I cried it out. The priest said, you know what, you could have this little place all to yourself. And I just had a heart-to-heart conversation with Jesus, and I said, Jesus, just take him away. And he didn't
mhm.
take him away that day, but he paved the path for me to let go here and let go there. And then
Yeah.
now I could talk about him, and you know what, I'm not hysterical. There's always
Yes.
going to be pain there, but there's less pain when you walk with
Mhm.
Christ. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. So I want to go back to when you were a child. You said between the ages of 9 and 13, you were sexually abused by a family member.
Yeah.
Did you? I have a couple of questions on that. Do you know if other people, do you know if other people had knew the history of this family member, or were you ever brave enough to try to tell somebody what was happening?
You know what, I this individual was harming various relatives, and I don't believe that um the other girls faced this relative. I did tell my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom, several years ago when I came to her, she said that it never happened, and it broke my heart, and it changed the relationship with my mom and I. But again, that was another circumstance that I brought to the foot of the cross,
Yeah.
and I forgave my mom. I forgave my mom for being absent during that turbulent time. I have no memory really whatsoever between the ages of 9 to 13. It's all a blur. But
Mm-hmm.
I said to myself, I am never going to allow that person, like my ex, take away what is still left in me. I'm going to enjoy all the days of my life because I have so much more, to give. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
refuse to surrender to their toxicity.
Right. How old were you when you told your mom, like when you finally opened up about it?
When I was a grown adult, I kept that one uh, tucked in the back of my brain for
Yeah.
a real while. And I actually, in 2012, I told my mom, and my mom and my dad were like, "What the heck? Like, how did we not, see this?" We had a lot of moving variables going on
Mm-hmm.
with life. Other relatives had passed away, and I just I didn't want to share it with my family. I felt really dirty, and no matter
Yeah.
how many times you took a shower, I just felt just really, really gross. But I'm in therapy today, and sometimes we're in therapy till we roll out of here, and that's okay because health is wealth.
That that really hurts and angers me. That
Yeah,
like
they
just t- that people really, I don't want to say take advantage of, but people really misuse and abuse young girls. And for you to live with that all those years and like to live feeling dirty, to live feeling like you had done something wrong, to live feeling like you like, I imagine you thought maybe you had done something to entice or provoke this person to do things like that to you. But it breaks my heart that that kind of thing even exists. And it's family who does
You
this.
know what? You have to be very careful who you expose your children to. Crazy people are unfortunately relatives. They're in our schools, they're in our kids' sports. And
Yes.
when your child comes up to you and they tell you, this one kind of made a pass, towards me, or this person said something to me, or this person touched me inappropriately, react to that. Don't
Yes.
ignore that, because it really is, it's a sick world, that we live in. And this individual knew exactly what they were doing, and it's disgusting to know that they got away with it. But you know what, they have to answer to God, not I.
Right. How did you find out about the other girls in your family?
They 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 we would share conversation of what was going on. It was incredibly disturbing, and we were trying to figure out, should we tell the individual's parent. Today the individual's parent is deceased, but going back years ago, that parent was uh I want to say a very intimidating person. So we never felt, comfortable, bringing such
Mhm.
um, a, a big, piece like that to the table. But I really believe that that individual should have gotten help um, to deal with just being a guy, hormone years, and they sloughed it off, the parents, like, oh, this is funny. No, no, it's not funny. You have a job as a parent to make sure that your kids are good kids,
Yes.
and they failed. Yeah.
So I was pulling up some information. This is from the National Child Traumatic Stress Network. First, it says, of course, just like any kind of abuse, that you have statistics, but they're not completely accurate because it's such a secretive situation. Like so many people don't speak up about it. But even out of the people who have and have not spoken up, it says that child sexual abuse um, indicates that as many as 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience some form of sexual abuse before the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
And children are most often sexually abused by someone they know and trust. Approximately three-fourths of reported cases of child sexual abuse are committed by family members or other individuals who are considered part of the victim's circle of trust.
Yes, I tell you, there were so many red flags. One red flag that really resonate with me, and I don't know why my parents didn't pick up on it, was the individual actually gave me a gold ring with the initial the letter of my first name, G. And that's called sexual grooming.
Mm-hmm.
Relatives should not be giving, each other jewelry if it's like, not a birthday or, something like that. And I don't know why, till this day, my mom and my dad just didn't like flag that, you
Yeah.
know. And again, that individual knew exactly what they were doing, and they have a huge problem. I have no idea where they are today. I don't want to know, where they are today. I just have prayed over the years, just God help me feel clean again. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't want to see, that gal who was, 9 years old. And I remember the day like it was yesterday. The individual's mom had a clothing party, and I was 9 years old when I came to the party, and I was undressing, and that's when he really thought that, okay, I could be inappropriate, I could touch you inappropriately. And when you're 9, you're like, what the heck just happened here? I don't have older brothers, but I knew that act was wrong. And unfortunately, you would see it in my academics that, I was struggling here, struggling there, a poor student. And the reason why was I never had the confidence to come forth and, share this with, my teachers. Yeah.
Okay, so many questions. So this how much older was he or is he than you?
So this individual is exactly 12 years older than me. Yeah.
Are you serious? So
Yeah.
he's 21.
Mhm. Yeah. He's a sick person. And the individual, I found out through the grapevine that they actually married someone named Gina. And I'm just like, God, are you really going to forgive this person? Like, I
Right.
have moments that I'm just like, I know you're a loving God, but God, are you really going to forgive this person? And you know what? It's at the foot of the cross where it belongs.
That's insane. I'm still, when you went to the party, the clothing party, was your mom or your dad there, or did they just drop you off? Like, how did you get there?
It was my mom and I. Yeah.
And was this like a clothing party for
Like picture
family,
like a
just the community?
no, just picture like a trunk show. Someone
Uh-huh.
came and they were like a small vendor, and the individual's mom was having like a bunch of ladies over. Like it was a very like relaxed event. It wasn't like a posh event. But
Yeah.
again, that individual preyed upon a little girl.
But why is he even here for,
I,
and
I have no idea.
how does he get to where you are while you're undressing by yourself?
Just sneaking in.
Did he say anything? Like, did he say, I mean, I know you already had the shame or the insecurity to even speak up about it, but did he say anything to you like, don't tell anybody or
Oh
keep this
yeah,
between us?
don't say anything. If you do say anything, I'm gonna, well, because the abuse just kept on, um, going till the time I was 13. So, I mean, he would even say, you try saying something, I'm gonna completely, leak this. Like when you get to high school, like he just kept on like threatening me and putting me in a little box. Yeah. But he doesn't have any control over me anymore. Nope, absolutely not. No more.
So you turn 13 and he just stops?
I turned 13, and I I just I started high school, and I I just said to myself, you know what? I am not going to any more birthdays, family functionings. I literally have to remove myself from all these functions. And I'm Italian, so we love to celebrate, and we celebrate with food. And it was
Mm-hmm.
very hard for me to, you know, let go of everything that I love because I was, protecting myself. But even when we had, slumber parties, you know, um, he would prey upon me, at the house where his mom lived. And I have these conversations all the time with God. Like, God, are you really going to forgive him? You know, I wrestle with that, but he's a good father, and he has to answer to him. Have mercy on his soul.
It just always like it just makes me nervous to think about my kids, because you really do not think, as much as you know, as much sin is in the world, and as sick as you know some people can be, you just don't really believe or think that that's happening in your, like in your family or in
I,
your circle of trust.
I mean, we had a terrible loss in our family. My mother's father was killed, and I remember I was elected to bring the gifts up in the the funeral to the altar there. And I remember that evening before the funeral that um, he touched me inappropriately, and the anxiety of bringing these gifts up to the altar, I felt, I can't even tell you how filthy I felt. And I was mourning myself that day. I was mourning the loss of my grandfather, and I he took away so much innocent years I could never get back. And here I am, a mom, and my daughter is 14, and I'm like, I don't even remember my life when I was your age. So everything I do, I wing, like my makeup,
Yeah,
you know, and I tell myself I don't want to be a mom that is just floating through these years. We don't get these years back. This is not a
right.
dress rehearsal. So really, there's so much support out there, but
Hmm.
really start with Christ. He's our savior. He's the first person to talk to.
Hmm.
There's so much support out there. There's spiritual leaders,
Yes,
there's psychologists, there's psychiatrists. Sometimes you might need a little medication to help you, but really take advantage of all those resources.
I agree. And for anyone who doesn't really know how to talk to God or have the relationship with God, like I learned, it's not about knowing God, it's about the relationship that you have with God. And my advice is just talk to God as if God was a best friend that was sitting right in front of you. It doesn't
Oh
have to
man.
be,
Yeah.
so religious. It doesn't have to be, oh,
No.
Father God. It does, like,
No. Mhm.
that's how you open up yourself to
Yeah.
receive God's love, is by imagining that he's in the physical form, he's right here, and he's just the best friend. Like, he's not this. We get caught up, I think, in the vastness of his omnipotence and
Mhm.
omniscience, that we almost can't bring him down to, he loves me enough to be my best friend. And
Mhm.
if I can just talk to him like that, that's what helped me build my relationship with God. Is like, I just got to talk to you. We just got to talk whenever I think
I
about
talk to
something.
him all the time, in the
Mhm.
car, in the
Mhm.
shower,
Mhm.
24/7.
Yeah.
And he will never abandon you. I'm living proof
Yes.
of that.
Me
I've had
too.
a lot of pain, a lot of pain. But you know what? Behind your pain is your purpose. It's up
Yeah.
to you what you want to do with that.
That part. So you get to 13, it stops. You cut yourself. Do your parents not ask you, like they don't try to force you to go to family functions? They don't ask you why are you not going anymore?
They were really it was like a tug of war with them. They're like, "What do you mean you don't want to go?" And I'm like, "I just don't want to go," and
Hmm.
finally my mom, when I told my mom in 2012, my mom was like, "Well, now it's all starting to make sense, why you were being hesitant." Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to high school, all of this has happened. Do you have, before you meet the ex Harpo, do you have any kind of relationships or friendships with men or with males or boys, but after you turn 13, but before you get
Oh
into that?
gosh. Yeah, so after the whole, child abuse, I I was in relationships like I would change my underwear,
Hmm.
and but that and I was hurting myself because I was going from one guy to another guy to another guy, and I had no respect for myself. I was hurting myself, and I've come to a place where I just said, you know what, I'm done. Some people use drugs and alcohol to, cope with, circumstances. In my situation, sex,
Hmm.
and I will never do that again. No, no, no.
Were all of the guys that you were with, were they around, like they're around your age, they're in high school, or did you end
Some,
up being with people who were older?
what I was just so desperate for attention, for attention and an outlet. And
Hmm.
some of them were my age. Some of them, were. Um, I was 17. I lost my virginity to someone who was 21. I mean, I had no, you know, it's a blessing that I'm healthy today. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How do
So
you meet a
acting out,
21-year-old?
huh?
How do you meet a 21-year-old at 17? Because you're
Oh
still in
my
high school,
gosh.
right? Or did you
The
graduate?
internet. The internet.
Really?
Yes, I was on the internet just hooking up with people, and again, I was doing more damage to
Hmm.
myself. And finally I met my person, and I wish I would have met him, much earlier. It would save me a lot of heartache, but
Yeah.
in the scheme of things, all the heartache, it all led me to him.
Yep.
And my husband is the only love I know.
Yeah.
It's God, and it's him. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's what I need.
That's beautiful. So before the amazing life that you have now, how did you meet the ex Harpo, and take us back to like the meeting and the emotions that you felt when you met him? Was he someone who is like the typical, I'm going to present you with this Prince Charming who doesn't actually exist? Or was it kind of just like you were so self-destructive that it kind of didn't matter? It just led into that.
So I met I met the ex off the internet again, and this, we're going back years. This was like American Online, okay,
Mhm.
and yeah, American Online, yeah,
For
and
those who don't know what
yeah. For those
AOL
who don't
is,
know, yeah, so
Google
that's
it.
what I was doing. Yeah, yeah.
The dial up. Come on.
I can still hear in the the background. Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh my
met him, and met on a blind date, and 4 years apart. I just turned 20, him 24,
Mhm. Which, in
and
all honesty, that's not really seem like, that doesn't seem like a flag. It's not really alarming in
no,
the
but
grand scheme of things.
it gets better. Very charismatic, very good
Hmm.
looking, had me played like a fiddle. And we
Hmm.
were with each other for 5 years before we got married. We talked about getting married. We talked about having a baby, and in the 5 years that we were together, again, there were red flags.
Talk to us about
Being
it.
very young and naive, I let a lot of stuff go. It all started off with, comments like your makeup. Why are you wearing that makeup? You need to look dirty. They would tell me that they like the dirty, smoky eye look. I'm like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
even really wear makeup. I just like, very, very minimal. So it started off as that. Then it
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, your clothing. I don't like your clothing. I'm like, what do you mean you don't like my clothing? Like, you know, so control with makeup, control
Yes.
with, clothing. And then arguments started off with, back and forth banter, which escalated into hair pulling. And then from hair pulling, it escalated into to choking. And the choked me when we found out that I was pregnant with my oldest, and I'll never forget that day. It just grabbed me by the neck and put me up against the bed, and I actually passed out.
Oh my God.
And I don't know how I came back to, you know, baseline. Um, I'm up, and guess who's, standing in the parking lot? That mom and dad. Like nothing even happened. So
Hang on, wait. So y'all are dating. How long were y'all dating before you got pregnant?
we were with each other for 5 years.
So
Yeah.
you were with each other for 5 years. You didn't get pregnant until after you were married.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, before we get to that, so I wanna sit on the red flags for a second because people aren't understanding that before the physical abuse happens, it's a psychological mental abuse thing that's like they're stacking on, it's layering. It's
Yeah.
layering.
It's like
And
an onion. There's
yes,
lots of layers. Lots
lots
of
of
layers.
layers. And
Yes.
you for somebody who doesn't comprehend or hasn't been there, you might say, "Oh, well, what's wrong with an occasional smoky eye?" The problem is you met me one way,
Mm-hmm.
and now that we're together, you're telling me what you want to change about me.
Mm-hmm.
When you met me this way, if you meet me this way, then you be attracted to me this way.
Mm-hmm.
But so many times, if not all the time, they meet you one way. And in their brain, I'm imagining they already know what they're going to start changing and how
Oh
they're going
yeah.
to start
They're
changing it.
gonna mold you. They're gonna
Yes.
groom you
Yes.
into, I don't even know what the actor wanted. And unfortunately, till this day, um, they're still doing the same,
Mm-hmm.
jumping around from one person to the other. Honestly, I don't miss the verbal abuse, the physical
Mm-hmm.
abuse, endless
Mm-hmm.
affairs. No, none of that. None of that.
So other than the makeup and the clothes, if you can think back, what would you consider what did y'all move in together? Were y'all living
We
together before
did.
y'all got married?
And that's what is. I rack my brains, in therapy over this. We live together, and you know these are things that we talked about: getting married, having a
Mm-hmm.
baby. This was, nothing new to him. So at a point I thought, like, you know is this something, that is, really stressing him out, like the reality of things. It
Mm-hmm.
just turned out that he had always had an anger problem,
Mm-hmm.
and there were so many times where he had outbursts of breaking my things, or, one time he pushed my father, and I don't know how my father did not, really put him in check.
What?
Yeah, but the more I think about it, and the more I reflect on this in therapy, um my parents did not want my parents were in a place of, if we come at him, what is he going to do to my daughter? So it was
Yeah.
just a wicked game of chess.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would even tell the mother, you know, he choked me, he pulled my hair, he slapped me. And narcissistic individuals have parents that are narcissistic, and there's actually called a narcissistic web.
Mm-hmm.
And I strongly believe that the narcissism does stem from the mom, and
Mm-hmm.
constant coddling. And you would think as a parent, you would come to your son and be like, you know what, you got a really good thing here, you need to knock this, just stop. Nope.
Yeah.
Made excuses.
Yep.
And I don't miss him, I don't miss his family. And people always ask me, they're like, how can I get back at a narcissist? What could I do? And you know what, the best thing you could do is to be happy.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to explain to them why. The more you're happy, it drives them crazy, because you know why? They have no control over that.
Right. And they can't take it away
They
anymore.
cannot take it
I
away.
I
Cannot
honestly
take it
think
away.
that you can't. I don't even think you actually can, because they're so consumed with anger, with hurt, with trauma, with rage, with trying to find another host, that you can't, you thinking that you can do something to hurt them is is a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time, because you can't. Because we don't understand the psychological crookedness that is to be this type of person.
Mhm.
Even experiencing what you've experienced, I imagine that your brain still can't comprehend how someone could bring themselves to do this. Like you said it right now, you're still unpacking this. 14 years later, you're still unpacking this in therapy. Like we literally talked about this. We got married, then we got pregnant, and I tell you I'm pregnant and you strangle me. Like you attempt to murder me. That's what it is. Attempted murder. You try to murder me when we've talked about this. Like, there's not a way, and I hope someone can really receive this. We cannot comprehend how they think. And once you get to that reality that you can't figure it out, you can just release it. That's when you're going to start being better.
Oh yeah, we even went to marriage therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have ran and got a divorce, then.
Mm-hmm.
And the therapist said to me, you know what? He's narcissistic. He's never going to change. That should have been the huge wake up call. But no,
Mm-hmm.
I tried young and
Yep.
dumb,
Yep.
stuck it out,
Yep.
Italian Catholic. Yeah, no. God loves us so much, he doesn't want us to be someone's punching bag
At all.
at all.
Never. God, like,
No,
we have to stop putting things on God. Like, God didn't put you here.
no.
Your decision got you here. Your
Mhm,
decision kept you here. I'm not taking away any responsibility from the abuser. I'm not saying that it's easy to get out, because it's not. It's statistically the most dangerous time of an abusive ship is when the person being abused is trying to leave. What I am saying is, don't put our decisions on God. Like you said, in a perfect world, you would have met your now husband way before all this happened. But God is so gracious and merciful that all things work together for our good. So
mhm,
even though we made this decision to go down this path and then stay on this path, God is like, I hate that this is the free will and the choice that you're choosing, but I am going to, if you let me, I can make this better for you, and I can lead you back to the life that I've always planned for you anyways.
mhm. Yes.
Girl, it's the it's the y'all being together for 5 years and then getting married. And then he wasn't physically abusive before you got married.
No. No, he physically abusive, he wasn't. Verbally, yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, oh, he's mad. Oh, I need to
Mm-hmm.
do something with my makeup. Oh, I need to
Mm-hmm.
buy new clothes. Oh, what could I do to like, get his attention? I literally dyed my hair blonde because at the time he was so revved up about blondes. I mean, this is what a complete nutcase.
Mm-hmm.
I put myself on a shelf and just let myself go for what? But see, that's what narcissistic individuals do is they will go after the most vulnerable person
Mm-hmm.
and mold them into what they
Mm-hmm.
want them to be, not out of
Yes.
love,
No.
out of what can I control? What could I take?
Yes.
What could I feed my ego? That's not
Yes.
love. No, it's not.
The earlier y'all understand that there he and this it's the mental gymnastics thing of showing you who you think you want from him and then taking that away so that now you think that he did love you at some point, but they never loved you. They
No,
were
it was all
all
a facade. All a
mhm.
facade.
It
All a
was your
facade.
strategy to
Oh
get
yeah,
what they needed.
I make a beautiful beard.
So, oh my gosh. So when you found out you were pregnant, how did you feel before you told him? What was going through your mind?
You know, before I told him, I was like, this is something that we talked about.
Mhm.
This is a true blessing.
Mhm.
You know, uh, I was not ready for the the violence, and I really believe that he reacted the way that he did because he was cheating on me. None of it makes any sense
Mm.
why he reacted the way that he did. But I unfortunately that is just a very vivid memory that I have that I work on
Yeah.
every day to get rid of it.
Yes.
And it surfaces because I have my daughter,
Mhm.
my new baby, and I rock my baby in my rocking chair, and I'm like, this is such a different, you know, um, postpartum, circumstance.
Yeah.
But you know what?
How
It makes you stronger.
how was that pregnancy? Okay, so initially you tell him
Mhm.
he strangles you to the point that you pass out.
You know
You
what? He
wake up, his
was
parents are
he
there.
he was he was abusive when I was pregnant. He
Uh-huh.
always wanted me to, clean the house, run errands, and I couldn't even, get out of bed some days. And then complain about, how things were clean and then make you
Mhm.
re-clean it. It's
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
what? No, I don't miss that. No. But now I have my own house. It feels
Come on
like
now.
me. And I knew it. One day he would come and pull up in my driveway.
Oh my gosh. Why? Does he even talk like does he even have a relationship with y'all's daughter?
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, here in Illinois, um, it's a 50-50 split. The
Regardless.
regardless, you have to be a complete nutcase, like kill somebody to, have all the custody.
So when you file for divorce, was there any did you ever go to the court or the police about the abuse?
You know what? That was the I can't think of the word to say, but because I never made a police
Mhm.
report because I never had him charged. Yes, there were 911 calls, but that did not change the trajectory of things. The judge literally looked at the both of us and was like, "Well, it must have not been that bad, Miss Gina Marie." And I I I wanted to like fall to my knees in the courtroom, but I just, you know, said, God, if this is what you want, then here I am. And till this day, I don't speak to him. I can't
Mm-hmm.
even, look at him, in the eye. It's actually funny because my new husband has more communication with him than I do.
Yeah.
I can't even pick up my daughter from the home because when I sit in the driveway, I literally think of like every room
Yeah.
that he harmed me in. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing that you have a husband that can be that buffer for you and that is
Well,
understanding to be able to still allow your daughter to have a relationship with her father if she so chooses. What disgusts me and what I don't understand why there's not training on, like, judges, like, they need training on how to communicate in a courtroom in certain situations. Like, why do you feel like your opinion right now is what needs to come out your mouth when
I
I
made
just told you something?
I even had a picture that he took a buck knife and in a fit of rage he went to stab me with it. He put a hole in his child's baby mattress. Like even that example did not turn the dial in court. You know what it did? Wow. It gave us a guardian ad litem that was a voice from my daughter who clearly had no
Right.
experience whatsoever.
Right. So according to Oasis Domestic Abuse Services, pregnancy is widely recognized as a catalyst for domestic violence, with some clinical studies indicating that up to 30% of domestic abuse cases begins during pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to make sure they word that physically abusive, because the abuse has started way before the pregnancy. But the physically abusive, it says, and according to the March of Dimes, 1 in 6 abused women first experience abuse. I'm going to insert physical abuse during this vulnerable window, and over 320,000 women are physically abused by their partners during pregnancy each year. That was the first time he put his hand on my throat. Not when I told him I was pregnant, but it happened after I got pregnant. This is another thing, like, how do you study the psychology behind that? But I'm just so mad at the judge because ugh,
Our judicial system is you wonder why people become statistics. You place
yes,
innocent women and men like me back in the lion's den.
yes,
I hate this
yes.
state of Illinois.
Then you not only that, but you degrade me in front of the person that I'm telling you is abusing me, which only fuels their self-image
Mm-hmm.
of the
Again and
power
again,
and
they
how great
feel
they
that
are.
they have power. And
Yes,
I'll never forget his facial expressions. In court, he looked at me like I always win,
right.
and I just said to myself, "You may think you always win, but in the scheme of things, I'm the winner. I let you go. I forgave you
Hmm.
because I don't want your crap to infiltrate ever again
Yeah.
in my life. You don't have that arena to do so no more.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. And that's how you take back your power is being happy,
Working on yourself.
working on yourself. It's hard, but you
Yes.
know what? There's a whole new life that is
Hmm.
for you.
Exactly. So you're married for 5 years. You find out you're pregnant. You tell him you're pregnant, and then the physical abuse happens. How long do y'all stay married after that first incident?
We were together for about 17 years.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
So after you get married, you stay with him another 12 years.
Yeah.
Oh my
This is what I
goodness.
mean. I constantly took him back,
Mm-hmm.
took him back. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm gonna get you flowers. Oh, I'm gonna buy you really nice gifts. No, it comes with a price.
People, okay, I don't want to assume, and I don't want to project my experience or my thought process. Why do you think you stay? What was it that was driving you to stay? What were the factors to help people understand why someone would be abused and then accept some flowers as if it didn't happen? What were you
I
thinking about?
At the time I felt like, man, I really can't make it in this world without him. I need him for financial. I need him um, for intimacy. No, you don't need any of those things. You need those things to come from yourself. You provide those things for yourself. And that's exactly why I stayed, because I really believed I could not amount to anything.
You were a stay-at-home mom for 12 years.
I was a stay at home mom for the first 7 years, 7 8 years. Yeah.
What shifted that let you or allowed you to start working again?
You know what? I After my daughter, because of all the anguish I was under, I uh, overcame postpartum depression, and I met a friend, um, and she's my best friend today, and she was actually in my wedding, and she said to me, she's like, I really don't know what the hell is going on, but I know that you're really out of character.
Mm-hmm.
And she just told me, she's like, you don't have to explain. I'm here for you. And she prayed over me. I never
Mm-hmm.
even really shared with her what was going on, but she knew. She knew the internal
Mm-hmm.
bruises, she knew the external bruises, and she led me spiritually, closer to God. And she told
Yeah.
me, she's like, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you that I have this feeling that you're in imminent danger. My friend told me, she's like, you need to leave. You need to
Mm-hmm.
leave, and your home is always welcome.
Do you think that any of the reason that you stayed was because you wanted to keep the family together or you
I
wanted to
did,
keep
yeah.
your
I
daughters?
wanted, I wanted, I wanted to. Um, I was always raised where you stay in a marriage through thick
Yep.
and thin. And
Mm-hmm.
little did I know that those are the worst words that you could ever share with your children. Because
Yes.
when things are thin and their safety is in jeopardy, you don't want them to stay. You want to make it really clear that you never stay in a place where you're undervalued.
Right.
And I really wish my parents, said that to me, that, what, if you want to get married, fine. But if things are, falling apart, please don't say, don't stay and try to save. No,
Right.
no.
It's a it's that generational conditioning
Yes.
because our grandparents, it would be really hard for our grandmother to leave
Oh yeah.
because like there was no real work for women then, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But then you see that, and like you said, like through we do these vows through sickness and health till death do us part, that starts with what God has joined together, let no man tear asunder. But God didn't put these relationships together. Like
Mm-hmm.
people overlook that part of the vow recital. And it's like God didn't put this together, but now you have this spiritual, religious cloud lurking over the person being abused because you made this vow or this commitment. as if it's okay for the other person to not honor the commitment or
Mhm.
to disregard how God wants them to treat their spouse. And I hate that. I love having these conversations. And I believe that our generation, I've said this so many times, but I believe our generation is the generation that's going to start breaking the chains
Oh,
of
yeah.
miscommunication, of keep quiet, of don't say anything, because there should not be this pressure to be first. We got to start teaching our children how to make better choices and to
Oh, yeah.
acknowledge the, like, don't ignore the flags. But also for all the people who are there now, it's just like we have to show grace and be like, it is okay for you to not stay here.
Mhm.
It is okay for you to start trusting the voice inside of you that's been telling you this is, you don't deserve this, you don't
Mhm.
belong here. Even when they try to condition you to believe that you're not going to be good, no one's going to want you, you're not good enough, you don't do, like, even with those lies being forced in your brain, I believe you still have this whisper in there saying, but you don't though. You
Mhm.
don't deserve this. Someone will want you. You're not damaged. And if we can just hold on to that voice and just start repeating our own voice, the truth,
Mhm.
over and over again, to give ourselves the freedom to leave. Like, the sad thing is, it's it's everywhere. You have the religious standpoint of stay in the marriage through thick and thin, sickness and health, good or bad. But then you have the doggone court system where family court's sole purpose is to keep the family together. And I'm like, why is it not the sole purpose to look out for the best interest of the child?
You know,
The
they
best
say that
interest.
they're it's so crazy here in Illinois. They say that they're out for the welfare of the child. If you're out for the welfare of the child, then why do you put mom in harm's way again?
Mm-hmm. You're
They
not.
they're in Illinois here. I don't know what it's like in other states, but they overlook
Mm-hmm.
a lot of abuse. They
Mm-hmm.
fail to understand what emotional abuse is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because
It's
they
sickening.
say you have to be able to prove that the child is in danger. And I'm like, what do you mean? If I'm sitting in a house shooting a gun in the ceiling, but I'm not pointing it at the kid, you're going to take my child away from me
Mhm.
because the child is in danger. If someone is abusing the child's mother, or vice versa, the father, the child is in danger. Like, I don't understand how we don't, I cannot comprehend how we don't relate these two, and why you think even if they're separated and divorced, it's okay to make it mandatory for this kid to go spend time with the parent that was abusing. Gina Marie, I don't get it.
I
Girl,
I don't I don't get it too. I really don't. I really don't.
when you met his mom, is his dad around?
Yes, both of his parents are still alive.
Are both of his parents, let me be respectful, do both of his parents give off the energy that they enable him?
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, he has been coddled by both parents. They believe that because you bring home a paycheck and you're very successful, you merit
Mm-hmm.
being a good person.
Mm,
No. Mm-mm. No, no, no.
okay. What does his dad do?
You know what? I don't know.
Interesting. When you met them for the first time, do you remember what you felt?
Oh yeah, when I first met his parents, I thought they were, very lovely
Mm-hmm.
Italian people. We had the Italian culture in common. Again, just like him, very charismatic.
Mm-hmm.
They love the fact that we got married because all they wanted was a grandbaby.
Right.
They did not care about my well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And when push comes to shove, they were rallying not for us, but for their son.
Right.
And today they try to be my best friend. And I'm like, oh no, you and
Really.
I are business transactions, high and by.
They try to act like
They try
nothing
to
happened.
act like nothing happened. And I'm like, isn't this something? This is very familiar. Yeah.
Wow.
So for the sake of my daughter, I just permagrin,
Yeah.
high and by.
Does your daughter ever talk to you about anything that you feel like she's aware or sensed that's off about him or his family? Or does she just seem like
She's really
she
with
doesn't
it.
see anything
She
wrong?
yeah, she's really with it. She sees, him um uh he has a short fuse. So,
Hmm.
she sees a side to him like where he shouts at her, but she's always aware that, if things, do escalate, we're here.
That should not even be a game plan.
No. But again, this is our judicial system here in Illinois. We give the power right back to the abuser. And I love when, I hate to say it, men say, these fathers, we don't have rights. You guys have so
So
much
many
rights.
rights.
You have more rights than you know what to do with.
So many rights. So many rights. And the thing about abusers though, like they want the rights without the responsibility.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to be able to get this child and have it and keep it away from its mother or whatever I can do.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't want to have to pay child support. I don't want to have to take them to the doctor. I don't want to have to pay for their prescription. Like, how helpful are you?
Narcissistic individuals, first and foremost, they do not co parent, they
No,
counter parent. They counter parent. That's exactly what they do.
that's
And
good. That's good right there.
yeah, they do. They present to the court like they're going to be this co-parenting.
Hmm.
No, you today still counter parenting. I'm like,
Yep.
not today, Satan, not today.
My gosh. So much needs to be done with our judicial system. So much. So much. So you're there for 12 years, hanging in there, being abused because you think something might change, you think it might get better ever?
I'm holding
Or
on to
you
some kind of light, like he's going to get better because it was
mm-hmm.
back and forth. I'm going to go get help.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you call a therapist? Oh, I didn't get
Mm-hmm.
to it. Constant deflecting. And you know why narcissistic individuals deflect? They don't want to be held accountable.
Correct. Absolutely
Again,
correct.
let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go.
Please let them go. And
Mm-hmm.
don't, like, you were blessed too. Like, don't announce that you're leaving. I know, like, with the high emotions of everything that's going on, and in the moment when you're like you're fed up and you're done, you just you were favored and blessed. I was favored and blessed. But you cannot, like, that should not be part of your game plan when you're finally ready to get out. You have to not say anything. Someone said you got to let them be the last person to find out because they will snap
Mm-hmm.
and they will do everything to destroy you.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
if someone stabs a toddler bed with a knife, please understand that they can do that to you and will.
Mm-hmm.
W- We have written off abuse as anger management issues, as overly aggressive, as oh, hey, well, he's got enough self-control to not actually hit you in the face. He only punched the wall. He didn't hit you with this such and such. He only hit this. Like, he's just showing you what he's capable of doing because he's very capable of doing that.
And again, I gave him a hall pass. I gave him
Uh-huh.
permission to do it
Uh-huh.
again and again and again. You
Well,
cannot do that. No.
you cannot.
No.
Because when we do that, and I'm saying we because I'm right there with you, I did the same thing. All we're doing is we drew a line in the sand, or so we thought, and all we're doing is moving the line ourselves.
Mhm. Yep, just keep moving the line, moving the line. Nope. It's gonna cost you, and sometimes it costs you your life.
Mm-hmm.
No. No, absolutely not.
Your life is so much more valuable and important than someone
Oh,
else's unhealed
yes.
trauma.
Mhm.
So, after 17 years, bless your heart. Gosh, 17 years of abuse and infidelity. Bless you. After 17 years, you walk out, you leave, you and your daughter go to your parents' house, and you start putting the pieces back together again. Does your daughter, I mean, she's old enough to see what's happening. Does she question you about what are we doing? Where are we going? Why aren't we going back home?
You know what? She really didn't. She just we
Wow.
come from a family where we're surrounded by so much love. I'm sure she was, piecing together some things, but
Mhm.
she really didn't give me a hard time.
What a
No.
blessing.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
Yeah.
So you build back up, you get your feet back under you, you start seeing your value and your worth and treating yourself like that again. How do you go from all of that to breaking down in the church to talking to God and then trusting this new person? Like, how do you get yourself to a space mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually to be able to open your heart to another man and be vulnerable and be transparent to, I don't like to say vulnerable, but be transparent and available to be loved again?
I when I was dating my new husband, I just kept on seeing just a lot of great things about him, about how attentive he is to my emotion, um,
Mm-hmm.
how he wants to just protect me, beautiful acts of love like that. And what I would do is, he doesn't know this, well, now he will, but he would just be himself, and I would have a little notebook and just like write down, you know, that expression of his. And
Mm-hmm.
then I would just have conversations with God, like, "Hey God, he did this. He opened up a door for me. He made me dinner. He listened to me." And I would, pray over that.
Mm-hmm.
And God was just like, "So you going to trust me?" And then again, he just kept on just being the great person that he is. And I was like connecting the dots. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
I'm like, God, you're really showing me that this is my person. So things like that, just
Mm-hmm.
drawing near to God and
Yes.
putting trust in him. And I feel like I've known my new husband my whole entire life. It's just
Yes.
amazing how God puts people in your life. He takes away people and he puts people
Mm-hmm.
in your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's so beautiful. I want to end with your advice to anyone. I mean, you've said it already, just let them go. What other advice do you have for someone who's in an abusive ship or and are aware that they're being abused and not aware that they're being abused? Like, what is it that you would tell someone, or if it were your daughter? that you saw, like you see the signs, but they don't comprehend them as though they don't comprehend them as signs to leave. What do they do?
So the best advice I could give you is um, we all have emotional boundaries. And if you for a second feel like that emotional boundary is being crossed and you
Mm,
feel
that's good.
not yourself, if you
That's
feel
good.
not yourself and you're like in this whirlwind of, did he do that? Did he say that? Did she say that? Did she do this? Really pay very close attention to why you are
Mm,
questioning your emotional boundary. Because you
mm,
know why? That individual crossed it.
that's
And
good.
you very well might have gave them permission to cross that line. So all these
Mm,
like little things that we like slough under the carpet
mhm.
in the scheme of things, they equate a really big picture where there's like sirens going off in the background, like woo woo woo, get out. Yeah, don't ignore
That's
that. Trust yourself enough that that is wrong.
mhm.
Don't make
Mm,
excuses for them.
for anybody.
No, they need to pick up their garbage on their side of the street. That is not your responsibility. No. No.
Ooh, Gina Marie, that was
No.
good.
No. No, no, no.
Don't let them cross your emotional boundaries.
No, do not. Do not.
Wow, that's
Do not.
good.
You deserve
Because
so much more.
you're
And
so
love
right.
should not hurt. No.
You're so
No,
right.
no. No.
If anyone goes back and looks over any of their relationships that they've been in, whether they've been actually really abusive or just toxic, you can think back immediately to a time that your emotional boundary was crossed. Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And the longer you let them cross it, the
You're
more
giving them
you're giving.
permission. You are giving them permission to hurt you again.
Yes.
We get so wrapped up in trying to change the other person.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do a mental check-in with ourselves.
Yes. Because their healing is not our responsibility.
No, ma'am.
Man. Oh, Gina Marie, girl. Oh, this was so good. I really enjoyed this. This was so, especially the tip. Ooh, especially that last one. That was so good. Somebody really, I don't know when they're gonna come across this episode, but somebody really needed to hear that about your emotional boundaries. That's so good. That is so good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you and your family. Oh my goodness. You had two beautiful girls.
I do. I do.
Wow. I just want to say thank you for coming on, for being transparent and sharing your story all the way back to what you experienced as a child to where you are now, the evolution of your journey, understanding that you sharing your story gives someone else permission to believe that they're not alone in this, that they're not the only person who felt this, that they're not the only person who experienced anything like this, and they're also not the problem. You have shown light on a darkness, but you've also pierced that darkness with the light of God and God's grace and God's mercy, and God chooses us, and God's plan for us is to be abundantly happy, abundantly wealthy in life, in love. And I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you
Uh,
for choosing to help someone else along the way on their journey by sharing yours. It's been my privilege to be here with you.
uh, thank you so much. This has brought some more healing.
Yes,
Yes. Thank you.
girl. Y'all, I be telling y'all, I be telling y'all, listen, Gina Marie, you are a light. Keep showing up. Keep sharing your love and keep shining your light. This has been another amazing episode of the Can't Be Broken podcast. Y'all know what it is. In the meantime, in between time, until next week, we are gone. Pew, 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 pew. Oh my goodness, girl.